frankly, in this whole combination. I mean, it's ridiculous. So that's why there was a sigh of relief when we thought that we've got our certificate. You know, maybe we've preempted this whole thing. We shouldn't have really announced because we don't know, you know, till that piece of paper. And the irony of this is, of course, that I can run my film. The Kashmir issue. We're sitting on a tinderbox, as we know, the two nuclear armed nations facing each other, and Pulwama only showed us how fragile this alleged peace is. Kashmir issue is not going to be solved by the bureaucrats in either Kashmir nor the separatists. I beg your pardon, the bureaucrats in New Delhi nor the separatists in Kashmir. Nor is it going to bring the burdens and the prejudices of their parents and grandparents' generation. These kids have, this is the biggest opportunity we have as a country today. They have relatively open minds, notwithstanding Arnab Goswami, who is poisonous, and his whole ilk is poisonous. But notwithstanding the 24/7 barrage we get on television today, these are people who have relatively open minds. Don't go to this Gulmarg and Pahalgam and do this boating and pony riding, but go into their villages. Speak to the people like I have. They are very warm, gracious, welcoming and hospitable. And understand. If not that, just watch my film.
So I play a woman whose son has seemingly vanished into thin air, and so she's one of the people, many people in Kashmir whose sons have disappeared. Why I wanted to do this film, or why this film? So Ashwin is very kind to share the film with me, the script with me, even before he cast me, and even offered to cast me. That's another story. But when I read the film, the first thought that came to my mind is, oh my God, here is a man who knows Kashmir like nobody else that I've ever come across before. We've made so many films on Kashmir, and they've been, some of them have been wonderful films, but they've always been sort of, you know, peppered with, or sort of checkered with a lot of other things and, you know, issues and, you know, action or drama or love story or whatever. But here, I think, was a very simple film that I read, which talked about the real Kashmir. You know, the people in Kashmir who are not leading dramatic lives. They're not in the forefront. They're not in politics. They're not on Twitter every day. But they live in the villages. They don't have a voice. They have a lot of heartbreak that they've gone through. And here is a film that speaks about their lives and them. And yeah, so this is why I felt that this film is so important that come what may, I would of course love to be a part of it, but even otherwise, this is a very important film that needs to be made. And hats off to Ashwin for bringing. Also, it's a film which is not very, you know, you see the trailer and you think, oh, it's a very serious film. It's a wonderfully humorous film, apart from all the, you know, other things in it. It is also a love story. So it's so many things, and it really deserves to get the censor certificate and be watched by people. The other thing I feel very strongly about is about reality, truth, and facts. Truth has many faces. Your truth is different to my truth. But reality and facts they exist. You can't wish them away, no matter what you do. So my feeling is, if we can have discussions and debates in Parliament, on television, here, there, everywhere, books come out about reality, about the reality of Kashmir particularly. Why can't we have films on that? I'm a great believer in the healing power of truth. And I feel the people of Kashmir really deserve that in their lives today. They deserve acknowledgement of what they've gone through. They deserve to be understood. They deserve to be healed. And one of the ways we can do this, apart from what, you know, government outreach programs and all kinds of other things, one of the ways we can do this is through cinema. So this is that. That is also why I feel this film is so, so important. And I pray that things go well for it as it goes along.
Thank you. And Angrezi mein kehte hain, where you play a young, charming boy in love. In this film, however, No Fathers in Kashmir, you play the role of an army major. What was it about this role and this film that appealed to you and convinced you to sort of be a part of it?
Firstly, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. What's up? You inspire. Thank you for being you. The man on my right is the reason I was grateful to him. I have a lot of respect and regard for him as a maker. I'm a huge fan of his film Little Terrorist, which went to the Academy Award. It was nominated. And I think we as a nation don't sometimes pay attention to the finer details. He was the youngest man to be nominated from India at the Oscars. I think we should just take a step back and make light of that truth, like ma'am said, and pay attention to the detailing his cinema has offered about the region. Coming to the region, he offered me a role which my gurus all my life have told me to go away from the trend as an actor, and that's where the magic lies. It's very easy to stand here and say, "How's Josh? Hi, sir." It's easy, I can do that. Anybody can do that, any actor worth his salt. But to see the grey side of everything has a grey side. There's a black and white to everything. Here's a filmmaker who's trying to tell you that there are greys in the region which we need to pay attention to and which we need to know about. We have the right to know about. We should know about. When I shot in Kashmir one day, it's a small anecdote. I walked out in costume and the line producer told me, "Sir, bahar mat jaiye, koi patthar phek dega." And I was aghast. I was like, if I'm wearing an Indian Army's costume, why will people... it's a very small thing, but it just gave me perspective about so many things which I had never thought of. And even as an actor, it was... Yeah, so I'm really grateful to him, and I always will be, because I have a lot of love and regard for him as a filmmaker. And this film will always be special for me from that point of view. Also, he's an actor, and he's making his debut here, let's not forget. And he's done a really solid performance. I enjoy film as a director's medium, but it's amazing to have a director who has a sense of the craft of acting. And when you'll see this film, you'll realize why he manages to take out the performances that he does, because he himself is so good at it. Having said that, the child in me is a huge fan of Kulbhushan Kharbanda and Soni Razdan, so the moment I knew that they are in the film, I wanted to go there.
What is picked up? Seems like that little innocent reply that she sort of gives you at that point in time. In that lies a very pertinent question, right? How did you come about doing this film, and what, according to you, is the key takeaway for No Fathers in Kashmir?
I came about doing this film because Ashwin kindly sent me the script. I read the script and I said yes. It was very simple. This is, I think, the key takeaway, actually. That's interesting that you phrase it like that, because for me it was very clear that this is a film and indeed a place that is bound in so much politics and so much grey politics, right? In the phrase as well, what does picked up mean? It's not just her question, right? It's a lot of people who don't know. I feel like we live in a day and age where we know more about, I don't know, the West. We know more about what's happening in Brexit, for example, than we know about, like somebody said, our own backyard. So for me, what the key takeaway was that this is a film, although it's so bound in all of this politics, it is not about it. It is a film that is so deeply empathetic, that shows you what life really is like. Not what you hear in the media, not the headlines, not who bombed whom and who is on whose side, and not numbers. Do you know, not numbers of how many died and how many survived. This is real. And the character that I play is real. She is based on a person by the same name. And there are so many like her. And even for somebody like me that knows a little bit, but it was eye-opening. It was a world that I had no idea. I still have no idea how we are living in a world where so many people live the way they do. And that's all. It's just much, much more than what we get to see. And we should, like Ashwin said, we should be doing more, seeing more, talking more, and watching more, making more films like this.
Thank you for that.
मोबाइल नीचे बैठो थोड़ा एक मिनट थोड़ा बोलता हूँ फोटो के लिए जाएगा तो हम लोग के लिए थोड़ा नीचे बढ़िया मोबाइल
Bye-bye. See ya.
Love your country, you have to love everything about it, and even if you dislike one thing, then you are an anti-national. So are you scared of the fact that the trailer is amazing, no doubt, but people might be scared to react to your film positively because they have this pressure, if I say anything, against the arm.
To make people a little uncomfortable. It's my job. I can't think for other people, I can think for myself. My intention is to feel something, and using my craft, hope that you might feel the same thing at that moment that I want you to feel it. The rest is up to the forces of society as they move, and in our particular time, as you very rightly point out, this word patriotism has become very troublesome. My patriotism is very clear. It lies in telling the truth. Because as a person who sees something wrong, if I tell the truth, then I create an opportunity for that wrong to be corrected. If we start correcting all the wrongs, we become a better country. We give more opportunities to our young people. We create better institutions and have a more robust polity. This is my patriotism. My patriotism doesn't lie in branding, in sloganeering, in false aspirations, and my particularly patriotism does not lie in calling members of my own country the other and harassing anybody who doesn't believe in a very narrow-minded way of looking at the world.
Soni ma'am, could you also elaborate on that, because the same question applies to you as well.
Yeah, it's true. We get all those. We get trolled tremendously all the time, and we get those ghastly remarks all over the place. I do believe that as an actor, actors have responsibilities. Like Ashwin said, as a director, he feels it's his job to make you uncomfortable. So I feel the same about actors. Actually, I feel that we have a responsibility because we're people who are seen. Again, that's not, so one doesn't go around soliciting films where we can be responsible. It's just that when one comes along, and it's so rare that, you really want to be a part of that, a part of that. The other thing is I'm also half Kashmiri, and I, for some reason, have this great affinity towards, I have that connection to Kashmir as well. So, I'm always happy to be able to be a part of any film that's part of Kashmir. The other thing I feel also is that in terms of, like Ashwin said about patriotism, I so agree with that statement. I feel that if I criticize my country, it's not because I don't like my country, it's because I love my country. And again, that's my patriotism, my form of patriotism. I want to make my country into a better place for all of us to live in, for my children to live in, for their children to live in. And if we don't look at what's there in front of us and we look away from it and we allow things to get out of hand because of other vested interests, then we are, as citizens, are not doing our job. So forget about being an actor, director, or anything. I think each and every one of us in this country, as a citizen, has a responsibility to make our country into a better place. And that does not mean advertising other people's agendas. It means looking at what is wrong and making it right.
Army is being shown in a grey light from the trailer when she asked the question. I think the film, what Ashwin's done is shown you the truth. He's not taking sides. He's just giving you what the truth is. So you as an audience should go see the truth and decide for yourself. What is it? I mean, don't prejudge. And I think that's the biggest problem we, I think, as a society have. Because whatever we don't understand, we fear. I think we should get out of that.
Yeah, there are also on many moments in the film where it's not about the army, it's just about so many other things, and those are also being shown to you as they are, and those you may agree with, you know, that kind of a thing. So it's like there are always nothing is black and white. There are shades to everything, and you know, you need to awaken to that. Simple.
जी बहुत सारे घटना है. इनफैक्ट इट्स बेस्ड ऑन कहेंगे ना, बेस्ड ऑन 1000 स्टोरीज, शायद 1000 स्टोरी से भी ज़्यादा. बहुत कठिन था ये स्क्रिप्ट लिखना, क्योंकि इसमें एक तो बच्चों की पिक्चर है ऑस्टेंसिवली, और उसके अंदर मुझे चुनना पड़ा कि मैं किस मुद्दे पे बात करना चाहता हूँ, क्योंकि कश्मीर में कितने मुद्दे हैं आप ज़रा सोच लीजिए, और कितने अलेजेड ह्यूमन राइट्स ट्रेजेडीज़ हो रही हैं वहाँ पे, कि मुझे ये चुनना पड़ा कि मैं किस चीज़ को एज अ मेटाफोर इस्तेमाल करके पूरे कश्मीर के बारे में शायद कुछ बता सकूं. और इट हैज़ टू ऑल्सो वर्क एज एन एंटरटेनमेंट, इट्स नॉट अ डॉक्यूमेंट्री फिल्म. तो लग गए मुझे 3-4 साल निकालने में से स्क्रिप्ट लिखते.
About your film, and I'm sorry I came late. Apologize, I missed the trailer. Somebody said the army is being shown in a grey light.
He just said it isn't.
Yeah?
No, ma'am, that was a question that she assumed after having seen the trailer.
Okay.
I said that please don't assume.
Okay.
He's shown the truth. We are not taking sides here in any way.
Okay.
And we all have, like,
I'm happy to run the trailer for you. Why don't you watch it and then ask your
It's on
question?
YouTube.
The
also now.
ISIS
Yeah, and it's on YouTube as well.
The ISIS flag appeared in the valley. The ISIS flag. We all know what the ISIS is. It's a demonic force. Do you show that in your film? I know it's a feature film. It's not a documentary.
Ma'am, may I
Sure,
suggest you
yes,
watch
yes.
the trailer? It's on YouTube now. It's already online, so that might be a good starting point for you to
Yeah, but my
understand.
question is to the director. Do you show that? Do you show the sympathies for ISIS in the valley?
But that's a statement. You cannot utter like that, no?
You asking me whether I'm showing the ISIS in the film?
Yeah.
ISIS doesn't exist in Kashmir, ma'am.
The flag appeared there several times, and
It may have
was
appeared,
photographed
ma'am,
in the
but
media,
please
it was
understand the
shown in
ISIS
the
as an
media.
organization does not exist in
Yeah.
Kashmir.
Yeah.
They're asking for self-determination. They do not want to be co-opted in the ISIS war. They have been rejected. ISIS has been rejected from Kashmir. Thank you for asking that question.
Having made this film, it's ridiculous to ask you if at any point in time you were really scared here, Ashwin.
Yeah, I can.
But I am sure since people are so willing to sit on the truth and squelch it out of existence, at any point in time has there been a real threat or fear for your life?
The fact that I use WhatsApp to do all my conversations now may be indicative.
Seriously?
Shall I go on? When we were shooting the film, we had to shoot under a false name.
Damn.
More? You want more?
Yes, that's
There's nothing false about this film, right? Eventually in its release.
That you see. Watch the film. I want to hear from you. You shouldn't ask me
I
that
will watch
question.
the film.
Inshallah. Thank you. देखिए अब CBFC के पास फिल्म है अपनी, मुझे तो बहुत मन कर रहा है आपको ये मैं जो आपका प्रश्न है फट करके जवाब दे दूँ. सब हंसेंगे. नहीं, पर अभी नहीं बोलूँगा, बाद में. पर्ची आ जाए हाथ में फिर. अभी देखिए 5 अप्रैल में रिलीज है, इंशाल्लाह उसके पहले आ जाए. उसके पहले नहीं आएगी तो फिर आप लोग फिर वो स्टोरी चलाएंगे इंशाल्लाह.
No, I just said I'm sure we're going to get it very soon.
Hello, I wanted to ask you, will the fact that you're confident that you're going to get it very soon, is in the offing to ensure that the censor certificate comes through?
That's kind of a token, no?
Prime Minister been in touch, or has he done? The Prime Minister's been in touch for a selfie?
I don't think I'm on the Prime Minister's agenda. And I'm grateful for that.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Okay.
Ashwin, hi, my name is Arundhati. I'm from INS and I loved the trailer. And what the girl was saying, like, you know, because I have many friends in Baramulla and Poonch and Anantnag area, so I mean, I that way I'm an insider. The only thing that I want to know, you see, empathy is needed. They are struggling for the basic human right, which I understand. But you said that, you know, how the politics is constantly going on. Don't you think that political solution, Kashmir demands a political solution, and not offering that political solution to resolve the issue is also a part of the politics? Sorry, I'm very emotional, that's why my...
Please don't believe me, I have the same emotion. I'm just being able to control it a little better because I had a little experience as an actor, that's all.
I just saw it and I'm like...
I have the same emotions, don't worry, we are on the same page.
And I'm going to definitely watch the film. If it is not releasing in the theatre, it will definitely come on Netflix and I'm going to watch it.
Please
so.
don't say that.
It will release in the theatre. There's no way that it will not release in the theatre. There's 100% release in the theatre, but let me address your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Kashmir is in a crisis of compassion at the moment. You know, the P word is used too often in Kashmir. It's been used for the last 70 years and we haven't really got much headway with that politics. Kashmir's issue is a crisis of compassion. Let's understand that very clearly. It's because people like us, you have friends in Baramulla and in various places, and that's great, but you're a very, very small minority. I mean, I don't know how many people in this room can say the same thing, and why not? We all have friends all over the country. If we actually go through our friends list, how many Kashmiris are there? And that is a problem. That is a huge problem. Just think about it. How come we know people from Tamil Nadu, from Kerala, from Assam, from Mizoram, from everywhere else, but we don't know Kashmiris? You see, so it's a problem of human-to-human interaction. It's a problem of us not knowing what's going on over there and being kept away from that on purpose. Till you get ordinary people from the rest of the country to interact with ordinary people from Kashmir, this problem, alleged, is going to continue. It's only when people start demanding that their politics change through their elected representatives that that change will start coming. The other problem is that none of our MPs or MLAs have a Kashmir policy. It is the most sensitive state in the country. But you ask your elected representatives, what is your Kashmir policy? There is none. So what are we talking about politics? Where is this politics coming from? It's coming from elected representatives. Neither do we know our compatriots over there. Neither do the politicians have any policies for Kashmir, which is other than, you know, sending more armed forces there, who also are standing on the battlefront, getting stoned, getting shot at, getting bombed. That's the only policy that we have. So where is the politics? Politics means of the polity. Polity comes from the people. Where are the people in this? There's only bureaucrats throwing pieces of paper back and forth. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
मैंने जानबूझ के नहीं रखा. Actually क्या था कि 5th of April में बाकी और कोई पिक्चरें आ नहीं रही थी, तो हमने सोचा कि हम ही घुस जाएं. जी हमारे आपको पता है कितने रिलीज डेट चेंज हो चुके हैं? 5. नवंबर, दिसंबर, जनवरी, फरवरी और अब मार्च में. हाँ, अप्रैल, सॉरी अप्रैल में. मैं भूल ही गया.